In this lesson, we are going to learn how to cite evidence part 2. So we have already dealt with citing text evidence in a previous video that I made, and I just thought that we could do a backup or another explanation in another light. So here we go. The first thing I want to do in today's video is explain the meaning of text evidence. So the text, this is any piece of written work. The evidence is proof. Text plus evidence is equal to citing the proof of what you're reading. So I often ask you guys, how do you know? How do you know? You say, on page 10 it said that. That's you citing text evidence. You know this because you read this on page 10, you read this here, you saw it there, and that's how you're citing your text evidence. I want you guys to put that on paper, where you saw your information, using the proper channels. So let's get into it. When citing text evidence, you've decided to use the author's exact words, you must use a quotation mark. Why do I want you to use a quotation mark? Because the book did not belong to you. It's almost like you're taking somebody's property without telling them. That's a crime. That's copyright. So if you read this text that you didn't write and you've been asked a question and you know the answer, I would like for you to give credit where credit is deserved. Tell me where you found the answer. If you're going to write the information directly stated from the text, this is where you're going to add within your quotation marks where you found the information. And that's what we're focusing on today. So these are some sentence starters that you can use when citing text evidence. And sentence starter could be something like, according to the text, and then you open your quotation mark if you're directly stating from the text, close it when you're done. Or, as the author mentioned on page, tell me the page, then you open up the quotation marks and tell me what you saw. You could also use something like, in paragraph so and so, the author wrote, tell me what you saw. Another one could be, one example of in the text is, tell me the example of the text, and if you're writing the information directly from the text, give me some open and close quotation to show me, hey, I know where I got it from, but I've also given credit to the source that gave me this information. With that said, we are going to look at the rest of the story from Papa's Parrot. And in this case, the question is, what is Mr. Tillion's motive for buying the parrot? Now, we all know what his motive was for buying the parrot because we said it. His motive for buying the parrot was because he's lonely. But what I want you guys to do is use a part of the question in your answer. So this is where you'd start by doing this. You're going to start by saying, Mr. Tillion's motive for buying the parrot is that he was lonely. So he was lonely. I know this because I'm going to write the evidence down for you right now. Let me change my pen. So I know this because in the text it said, he looked forward to seeing his son and their friends because he liked the company. It also said when they turned 12, when they entered junior high, they stopped going there. They wanted to play video games and buy records, but none of them were interested in the candy and nuts anymore. The text also said, even though other kids came by, Harry and his friends, they never came by. So when he turned 12, he went to the pet store and he bought himself a parrot. Down here, it says that the parrot, who's called Rocky, was good company for Mr. Tillian because when business was slow, he would turn and talk to him the whole time. It also says the more and more Tillian grew to like his parrot, the more he talked to him. So I know he was lonely because he liked his kids' company and then they stopped showing up. So Mr. Tillian's motive for buying the parrot is he was lonely. According to the text, and this is where you're going to show me evidence. According to the text, Rocky was good company for Mr. Tillian. Close quotation. Because I took it directly word for word from the text, I had to open and close my quotation marks because I didn't write it. And this is the mindset I want you guys to have. Go back to your text. Don't be afraid to search for your answer. Don't be afraid to highlight and underline and make marks in your text, just as long as it's your text. Okay? So, what am I saying? Use your evidence. Until next time, guys. Bye.